GOP is preparing to take the reins of power in the House of Representatives following those sweeping midterm election victories. Come January, there will be no shortage of critical issues facing the party. And joining us now, Republican Congressman Mike Pence of Indiana. Congressman, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you, Wolf.
Congratulations on your re-election and congratulations on the Republican wins.
Thank you. It is a very humbling thing to see what the American people did on November the 2nd, and Republicans are determined to turn a willing ear to the American people and really focus on creating jobs and putting our fiscal house in order.
You want to cut that deficit. You want to cut the national debt. That's critically important to you, right? And I want to go through some specific cuts where the money is on domestic spending, and tell me if you're willing to cut spending for Social Security.
Well, let me say, I think everything has to be on the table.
So you are willing to cut money?
I think it's absolutely imperative.
What about Medicare?
I think it's absolutely imperative, whether it's Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid.
So you're willing to cut in all three of those areas?
Well, let me say, I believe that if we act in the near future, that we can, through responsible reforms in the long term, we can put our nation on a pathway toward fiscal solvency. With regard to entitlements, we're going to have to take some deep cuts in domestic spending.
National security, too?
We're going to have to look at defense spending and procurement and look for efficiencies there as well. We've got great challenges mounting around the country. We've got to meet those. That's the first obligation of the national government.
So let's go through some of these specifics.
But everything's got to be on the table.
All right, and I appreciate what you're saying, because our new CNN Opinion Research Corporation poll that came out today, we asked, which is more important, reducing the deficit or preventing, for example, cuts in Medicare? 19% said reducing the deficits, 79% said preventing cuts in Medicare. Similar question, which is more important, reducing deficit or preventing cuts in Medicaid? 69% said don't cut Medicaid. Which is more important, reducing deficits, preventing cuts in Social Security? 78% say don't cut Social Security. So in these three areas, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the overwhelming majority of Americans say don't touch it.
Well, I don't know if they don't. I don't know if they're saying don't touch it. I think they're saying for people who are on Medicare or in Social Security or depending on Medicaid today, let's keep the promises we've made to seniors. Let's keep the promises we've made to people that are near.
What about people who are approaching?
Let's keep the promises to people near the age of retirement. You know, I've said many times that I believe personally that we ought to draw the line at the age of 40 and say anyone over the age of 40 will keep you in the same deal that you've been promised in Social Security and Medicare all of your life. But for Americans under the age of 40, I believe it's absolutely imperative, in addition to taking strong steps to put our fiscal house in order on the domestic side, it's absolutely imperative that we reform.
Give me an example of the reform in Social Security for people under 40. Would you raise the retirement age?
Well, I think I'm an all of the above guy. I think we need to look at everything that's on the menu.